Your Excellency Sri Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister of India, Excellencies, good evening and namaste. At the outset, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the Prime Minister of India, His Excellency Sri Narendra Modi ji, for inviting me to join this important second summit on Voice of Global South. The theme of this leaders session of this summit, Global South Together for One Future, is timely and relevant in the present context, especially as we grapple with a multitude of challenges in a world beset with turbulence. We appreciate the successful organization by the Government of India of the first Voice of Global South Summit earlier this year, which recognized that growth and development must focus on the most vulnerable. It further helped place the concern of the developing countries on the G20 agenda. I also take this opportunity to congratulate India on its successful G20 presidency, under which substantial achievements were made by the group. Excellencies, we are facing unprecedented crisis generated by COVID-19 pandemic, climate change, and deepening geopolitical complexities. They have impacts on food and nutrition, health and education, economy and environment, and peace and security. The developing countries, especially the LDCs, are the most affected ones by this crisis. Rising food and energy prices, tightening financial conditions, and persistent cycles of vulnerabilities continue to add to their worries. Many countries of the global south are under unsustainable debt burden, which is straining investment in health, education, social justice, and other pressing national priorities. We believe that in order to address the challenges facing the world, the international community must focus on common goal of peace, progress, and prosperity. For this, building up trust, promoting partnership and collaboration, and working in solidarity remain crucial. We need to champion inclusive and sustainable global growth, in which the global south receives a fair share to eradicate poverty and give their people a decent life. Nepal remains steadfast in its commitment to multilateralism, with the United Nations at the center. Nonetheless, we believe that the existing global governance architecture needs a timely reform for making it relevant and reflective of today's realities. At the same time, reform of the international financial architecture should be a top priority, with full consideration to the voices of the countries in a special situation, including LDCs, LLDCs, and SIDS. Climate change remains a grave threat to humanity. Climate vulnerable countries like Nepal have been bearing the burden of climate change. The effect of the climate change on the Himalayas has posed severe threat to the lives and livelihood of millions of people living in our region. We all must commit ourselves to achieving the set ambitions in a time-bound manner. With full commitment to the effective implementation of the Paris Agreement, Nepal has set a target of reaching a net zero emission by 2045 through, among other things, conserving and sustainably managing natural resources, undertaking effective adoption and mitigation measures, and promoting a green, resilient, and inclusive economy. In this context, we believe that easy access to climate finance is prerequisite to a low carbon and climate resilient development. Excellencies, talking about our national priorities, I feel happy to share that Nepal is graduating from LDC status by 2026, and we are committed to making this process smooth, sustainable, and irreversible. Sustainable development goals remain at the center of our development vision and priorities with the integration into national policies and plans. But even the progress that we achieved so far has been threatened by the multitude of global crises. Hence, we have been calling for an enhanced level of international support from our partners such as development assistance, FDI, trade facilitation, technology transfer, and technical assistance. The South-South cooperation should also be forthcoming to lifting the most needy countries. Excellencies, to conclude, while expressing our sincere commitment to work closely with the international community for advancing the cause of developing countries, I wish the summit every success in sketching a path ahead for meaningful cooperation and coordination in order to help shape a participatory one our